y'all? What's good? It's your boy G and Alec here. Another episode of 6300. Appreciate y'all for tuning back in. Before we really get rolling, make sure you show love to LA Sports Report on all platforms, especially on YouTube. Subscribe to the show. A lot of good content coming to you guys there. Gonna stay busy now as the All-Star break has ended, and we're gonna be gearing up for second half of the season, and baseball is gearing up and all of that as well. We're gonna be excited to talk about it all as things get rolling. So good stuff on that front. Appreciate all the love you guys show. And we are here now, right after the All-Star break, or heading into the end of the All-Star break. Just get excited for what's on the way with them. How you feeling about the Lakers as we get going into the second half of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I was feeling decent about them heading into the break. They pulled off a little mini run there, had a good stretch on the road, but I was shocked to get the notification that LeBron is going to be out against the Warriors. First game back from the All-Star break. I feel like this isn't the first time he's done this, man. What's going on?
I don't get it, man. The people are joking about it. Like they just said, LeBron was in here dunking and stuff during the laziest All-Star game we've seen. And now he can't play when it matters most. And that's all the joke side. But he has had times where he has sat out when needed. And hopefully he can stay healthy for the second half of this last stretch of the season as we are pushing for a secure playoff spot and want to make a real playoff run yet again. So, going to have all eyes on Bron as always. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, granted, like they have played decently well without him in recent games. I think they just played a game against Utah on the road without him and won that pretty handily.
Yeah.
So like they're capable of winning games without him, but this feels like this is go time, man. You're in the 9 seed, fighting for play-in territory right now. Like you're not solidly in playoff contention. So these are games I feel like they need to win. They had that double overtime thriller with the Warriors last time they played, so it's not going to be an easy game by any stretch. So. Hopefully they can pull it out because this is winning time.
It's winning time for sure, and hopefully we have guys step up. And you talked about we have stepped up with AD when LeBron and AD in the moment we're out together. We now have this whole laundry list of guys out. Cam Reddish is out. Max Christie is out. LeBron will be out for this next game. AD's day to day, but I believe he'll be playing.
Woods out,
Christian Woods is just out, and we still have Vincent and Vanderbilt out for the time being, as we have known all season pretty much as they've been out of lineup. So just dealing with these things. We talked about something I'll get to with the Clippers. They had interviewed James Harden today. I'll talk about it again when we talk about them also. And he talked about how the season's broken up into parts in a way. In the first half of the season, you kind of can just win based on just talent alone. But now, post All-Star break, it's about really refining the details and gearing up for playoff pushes. And if you're trying to do that, it's hard to do so when you have this whole list of guys out, including your main guy in LeBron. So we'll see how that plays out. And what are you looking? To that point, what are you looking to be? Refined as we make this last stretch of the season.
Yeah, it's hard to see it when you, like you said, you have this laundry list of guys out. But I would just like to see consistency from the team, because that's really what's been missing. We've seen the stretches in season tournament where they're 7-0 and look dominant against pretty much any team they face, and then we've seen the games where they look like a team that's not going to make the playoffs against inferior competition. So like we've seen the high highs and the low lows. We have seen this team pretty much play 500 basketball. So that's not the consistency we want to see. Like we want to see them be able to take care of home court and win some tough games on the road and play well, put teams away that they should put away as well too. So looking to see that consistency from the team. As we said, we've seen them step up when a star is out, but we talked about it. This month of March is going to be brutal in terms of the schedule. They're playing a lot of 500 or better teams, a lot of teams that are going to be in the playoffs. So going to need guys to be a model of consistency, especially those D'Angelo Russells and Austin Reeves, who we kind of want to step into that third spot. Going to need those guys to play huge for us down the stretch.
Yeah, that was where I go to. We talked about LeBron being out at times, AD being out at times, or AD hasn't really been out as much as we see. He maybe they live day to day as a protective measure, but he's been suited up. And with him being on the court as much as he's been this season, these two continue to step up post All-Star break. They had a good stretch and may have potentially fooled folks or have won folks over pre-All-Star break. Now it's time to really cement that they are who they claim to be, who they've shown themselves to be early on, and continue to play great basketball as we head into the playoff into the playoffs. So yeah, can be locked in on these two. D'Lo, I think if he continues to put up, he doesn't have to put up the 30 balls he was putting up at times, but if he can stay around that 20-7 type of game or whatever the case may be, that definitely can go a long way as we are still trying to find that solidified third guy. I think Austin Reeves can step up, obviously, in playoff situations and all of that. Before this push, I was going to go to our standings next, as we are trying to make sure we're locked into the playoffs to begin with. Right. I think having D'Lo and AD, as he's been doing, playing great, will get us where we need to be position-wise. So, yeah, looking at that beyond what you already said as well, and hopefully they execute as need be. Looking at the things right now, anything stand out to you? Do you see us making any big jumps, or do you think we're going to kind of be around that 7, 8, 9 range for the long haul?
Now, kind of like we've discussed, I don't see major jumps happening. Like I think probably in that 6 through 8 range is where we land. But no, I think it's a very hotly contested West. You see, majority of these teams have won 6 or 7 of their last 10. So it's going to be hard to make jumps past these teams that have been playing consistently good ball throughout the regular season already. It's just going to be a matter of us being consistent and like I said, taking care of business against the teams we need to. But yeah, I don't see much of a jump beyond probably the 6th spot.
Got it. Yeah, we'll see about that. I somewhat agree right now, which is tough because we obviously want to see them play be as high as they can. But yeah, the West is a dogfight yet again. A lot of good squads in there, and we'll definitely be locked in all the way. And we'll continue to talk about things as it goes on. Yeah, there's a lot of competition right now as you continue to look at it. It seems a little bit healthier this time around compared to last year. The Pelicans are still in it this year, or last year around this time they fell off. The Suns are getting their health back together. I think Bradley Beal is still out, but is on the way. And KD and D Book at least are playing good basketball. The Mavs, Kyrie this time aren't tailing off like they did at the end of last year. And then the Kings, I can go on another rant with the Kings a whole another day, but they are now slipping a 2 seed or the 8 seed, but still have a lot of talent there that in a playoff situation you don't take lightly. So yeah, a lot of good teams are across the board. Of course, the top dogs right beyond that, but just of those around us, yeah, there's gonna be a dogfight for sure to end the season. So we'll be locked in about it. I'm excited to see what is next. Before I have my last question, do you have any other questions Laker-wise you wanted to address?
I don't think so. The thing that popped to my head just now when you asked that is just questions in related to Darvin Ham and like his job security with finishing out this year. Like I think we've talked about it. I think he's secure for the rest of this season, but how they play definitely will determine whether he'll be back next year. I feel because like we've seen what they're capable of in making a Western Conference Finals last season with majority of the same roster, but this year there have been obviously as there is kind of every year with Lakers fandom, there's been a lot of questions about whether or not he should be the guy to lead this team. So I'm definitely there's going to be a magnifying glass, I guess, on him for the rest of the season as well.
Magnifying glass from the fans for sure. We'll be locked in, as fans are passionate as all can be about our Lakers squad, wanting us to achieve it at the highest level. Yeah, we'll be seeing what Darvin puts together, and they've been fans that have been frustrated all season long about rotations and all of that. We'll see if he cleans that up the second half of the season, and hopefully he does so. In regards to long-term options that we both have talked about, it's not really about what he can do because he's already here. It's more so about who would be the replacement. That luckily, I don't think it's going to be Doc Rivers or anything of that sort.
Yeah, I'll say we see what the Bucks have done.
Yeah. The Bucks took that off the table for us, luckily. And if somebody else comes available, we'll see. But right now, I'm cool with Darvin as long as he's not shifting it up too much now. When it's really time to lock in. So we'll be tuned into it, excited for it, and hope for the best for Darvin and this whole Lakers squad. So exciting stuff in that regard. On a lighter note, somewhat, we are big music fans. As you can see, I got the bouncer behind me. We had interviews with people, and the Thug Life is a reference to when Jeff Perlman was on, and he brought up the Thug Life album, and I went and got it. And we'll talk about that next time he's here. But in somewhat similar fashion, just today, J. Cole dropped a little preview to the Fall Off, and on the song, he said the Fall Off was like Hove dropping Reasonable Doubt last. In the same way, do you think LeBron still has another great effort in his career left for us? Do you think LeBron still has another great run for us in these playoffs, or you think we've already seen him reach his peak?
I don't know. I mean, we've all seen the video of LeBron creating the deluxe album, like here go two more for you. I don't know if he's got two more chips left in him, or I think he's got a couple more seasons left.
No, you don't got to be two more chips, but just
Yeah.
in the sense of J. Cole having one more great album, can LeBron have another great playoff run for us?
Yeah. I think he's capable of having another great playoff run. I feel like a lot of it sometimes comes down to like if he has faith in the team as well too.
Yeah.
Like if he thinks he has the guys around him to get the job done, you can see how it affects his play when he hasn't fully bought into the guys around him.
Right.
But him having AD next to him having some of that nucleus that was there, like when they made that run to the Western Conference Finals, I think there is still a level of confidence in this group. We saw them, like we said, rattle off a mini win streak before the break as well. I think he is capable, even at the ripe age of 39, of making another playoff run.
It's 38 still.
I think it's 39.
Either way, he's 40 at this point. Whatever, same thing.
27. It don't really matter. Like he's been beating Father Time for years, but you can see he's old and gray. He's got the gray in his hair and his beard and all that, but he's still playing like an All NBA level player at his age. So like I think he's definitely capable. It's just a matter of like where the team kind of sits come playoff time. You know? Yeah.
I'm going to carefully say no.
Here you go. Betting against legends.
And it's not I don't fully want to bet against legends, obviously.
Like betting against Brady, man.
Over the last, like the tweet was from a decade ago, oh, LeBron's 30 now. We're not going to see this for too much longer. Really, this may be. I'm not really going to that extent, but just in the sense of we saw LeBron try his best, at least, to put his best foot forward. Even just last season, we made a heroic effort.
He did his best.
He put his best foot forward, and after, at least in that last game, at least, he put up like 40 in the first half, and it was like, all right, bro, what you want me to do? Like, what you want me to do? So I think just based on what we last saw from him, just think he's getting better, might be a little bit better paced. I know he started off early on the season and was playing a whole lot. That seemed to slow down a little bit during the middle of the season.
Right.
He may have his legs under him and be able to make a better push. And we now have guys who are a little bit more experienced, at least from our main 6 or 7 rotation guys. And we'll see if anything else can be added to it to take a real jump. But yeah, I think just as a result of just what we've seen before recently, how runs have gone. I don't know if he has enough necessarily to make a whole finals run. We can get a couple more social performances individually in the midst of that. So hopefully I'm wrong in that, and I'll take the L again. I've taken the L many times with LeBron now in the latter part of his career. But yeah, just from what we've seen, I respectfully can't quite co-sign that like you did. But again, hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I think just to be clear, like I don't think the Lakers make a championship title run this season.
Sure.
But I do think LeBron is still capable of being the 1B or whatever, like on a championship team right now. The West is loaded, and I think the Clippers and Nuggets are a little better than them. But I do think LeBron is still capable physically of being that guy, like on a championship run. So it's a couple minor tweaks that the Lakers have to make for next season. But yeah, that's more what I'm saying.
So yeah, we'll see how that plays out. That being said, we do still have high hopes about this season. Though we are sitting in the 9th spot and have been kind of mid or whatever we're going to say throughout the whole first half of it. We do see how, if things work out as need be, that maybe to the question, maybe LeBron's the one that makes a special run. Maybe it's AD that steps up and claims that truly one
finally takes over the keys.
In these playoffs, and LeBron can be 1B, and that ends up being special and gets the job done. So maybe we can add a little caveat, and if that's the case, then so be it. But yeah, still rooting for these guys for sure, and hope for the best for them as the season plays out. And we'll be tuned in for it all season long. Of course, we'll be back each week talking about it all. To that point, we're now back with games finally happening again. Where I get to this by this time next week, the Lakers will have played the where'd it go? They'll have played tomorrow. Warriors tonight. By the time many folks see this on Thursday, on Friday they have a back-to-back against the Wemby and the Spurs. LeBron wanted to get his legs ready for Wemby, I guess, for that match.
I guess, man.
Sunday, they then play the Suns. Then Wednesday, they play the Clippers, which is going to be a fun one. And we may be back by Thursday when they play the Wizards and the Nuggets on that following Saturday. So for the next next four at least, how you see the Lakers games playing out?
Yeah. It's interesting, like with LeBron sitting out against that Warriors team. Like, I honestly like might pick the Warriors in that. They should definitely beat the Spurs, like no question about it. But yeah, we're starting
double going down. No chance of that.
Oh, there's a chance of a triple double for Wemby for sure, but it's not a good Spurs team. It's not. If they lose that game, honestly, like it might be an overreaction, but I think it's like sound the alarms type stuff if you lose to the Spurs when we're coming down the stretch and need to win these games.
I think the real test of the next two, obviously, they're the better squad, Suns and Clippers. The Suns are currently middle of the pack, but very respectable with MVP-esque players with KD and D Booker over there.
We've seen them play up to these teams. We've seen them compete with these teams.
They played up to them. But now we're gearing up in the second half of the season. The Clippers, like I just talked about earlier in the question about James Harden saying this is the time to start cleaning things up. With that in mind for them, we'll talk about more in a second. If they have that mindset, going up against them now in this context, it'll be another test to see where Lakers truly stand against the upper echelon in the West for sure. So we'll talk about that. And you see the Nuggets later on too. We'll surely readjust them when it gets closer to it. But yeah, the Spurs can be what it's going to be. We've seen how we play up and down against squads. It's important to win the game because of standings, of course. But I think the real tests obviously are the better squads following it Sunday and Wednesday.
Yeah, for sure. And it's nice to have teams like the Spurs and the Wizards in there sprinkled in, so you can hopefully get those definite wins. But in terms of those 4 games, like from what I've seen from the Lakers, it feels like another 2-2 kind of thing. They've been playing a lot of 500 basketball. I think they're all winnable games with the talent we have on the roster, but that's just not what we've seen from the Lakers to this point this season. So I would say 2-2, like optimistically 3-1. I think there's no way they go 4-0.
Yeah.
But so I'll say 2-2.
Hate that we had to feel that way, but still we can find some positives in that. Yeah, 2-2, 3-1 would be great, and hopefully it plays out as such. And we'll be back. We'll be back a couple of times over the next week, possibly Friday. Then also we'll be back on schedule potentially on Monday or Tuesday to talk about things again as they come around. So yeah, great stuff with the Lakers. Again, for those tuning into this segment on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to LA Sports Report on there. Definitely appreciate all the love that's being shown there and across all platforms you guys can tap into on IG, Twitter as well. A lot of good stuff going on across the board. So good stuff with the Lakers, and we're going to talk about them as things play out.